Today we're going to go ahead and get the mirrors on. What else did I want to do? I want to do something with that brake rotor in the front, clean up that caliper, get that put in. All right, let's get started. All right, the mirrors were kind of stuck and I couldn't adjust them. So what I did is I sprayed some silicone right into that. And now I can actually, they're still tight, and I can actually move them to adjust them on the bike when, I get to that point. Gotta loosen these nuts up. Alright, now I'm gonna put these on the vehicle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some Loctite on this here. Alright, so these just go right here where the mirrors go. I don't know what the torque is for these, and really not worried about torque. I'm just going to snug them up to the mounts. Now I'm going to put the mirrors in there. I coated this with a little bit of silicone lubricant. And then the nut goes right over that. Comes it all the way down. Now to adjust these, obviously, it's going to be upon whatever, however you like them. Alright, so we're going to tighten these down. I'm just going to snug it. Alright, so they're both tight. They're not going anywhere, obviously. Tell you the truth, I'm not crazy about the mirrors, but hey, they work, they do their job. I'm not spending money on mirrors for a bike that I'm going to beat up. If I break them when I fall or crash, then I'll replace them. I don't know what I should do with the windshield. It's in rough shape. Looks like someone sprayed some shit and it kind of destroyed it. So what I'm thinking of doing with this is painting it flat black. To do this, I'm going to use some steel wool. And real quick, scuff it out. Alright, now I'm going to go wash it, clean it up, dry it. And to paint this, I'm just using regular Rust-Oleum paint that bonds the plastic. Put a wire through it so I can hang it. And then I'm going to take it outside and we're going to spray paint this. I'm going to do some light coats of paint on this. I might end up running out of paint. Alright, just let that dry. I'm going to mark this rotor so I can put it back the same way it came off. So I'm going to put a center punch hole here. And I'm going to center punch one here. That way I know exactly where to put it. Now this brake, ABS brake, I'm going to put one right here on the outside of the lip. Take this off of here. Let's see if the steel wool will clean this up. Actually, that does not look bad at all. I like to use something called Never Dull on the metals, so it helps it to polish it up and keeps it from rusting. I'll put a link to this on the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that, nice. That looks good. Let's do the other side. This stuff alone will take that rust right off of there. It's pretty amazing. But I like to go over it with the fine, very fine steel wool. Gotta wipe her up. Alright, so the rotor's done. I've addressed the rust on that, and it looks good. Alright, let's move on. The ABS ring looks okay. Actually, it's got a little bit of rust right there. Let's see if I can get that out. Careful not to bend this ring or damage it in any way. And it looks okay. Alright, just taking off the old tape from the old weights. Alright, this rim is in, I don't know, it's in pretty rough shape. It's rusting on the spokes. What I want to do is I want to check the spokes, make sure there's no spokes that are loose. If there was one loose, you wouldn't hear a nice tone to it. You'd hear like a dead sound, like that. So, kind of gives you an idea. But anyway, we got some rust, and this rim doesn't look good. I don't know if my Nevidol is going to help this rim out. Really not sure. It might. Might clean it up. I was thinking of painting this black, but if I can get it to clean up, that'd be the easiest way to go. Oh, Nevidol seems to be working pretty nicely. As you all probably know by now, I'm not a big fan of spoke rims. Just not. This is a tedious process. There's no way around this. It's going to take time. One spoke at a time. Alright, the rim looks 100% better, but some of these spokes on the nuts here, the rust is a little too far gone. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think I'm just going to leave it alone for now. And in the future, maybe I'll throw some paint on that. I don't know. Let's check the bearings. Make sure the bearings are smooth. They rotate fine. Check the other side. Same thing. Actually feels really good. I'm going to take this outside, wash the wheel down, get that grease, dirt, whatever's on there off, up in here. Alright, there's the wheel. Definitely looks 100% better. The rim looks good anyways. Now we're going to put the disc back on. We're just going to go ahead and put this back the way we took it off. So I'm going to go ahead and line up the marks that I made so it's in the same spot. Line this up so it all lines up. And to put these in, I'm going to put Loctite on them. Alright, I gotta find out the torque spec on this. 9 Newton meters, 6 foot-pounds. Well, 7 actually. Now let's go back and check them all. That's it. She is taut. Alright, now we're ready to put this back on the bike. But before I do that, let me just check the air pressure since it's here and it's easier to get to. I'm just going to go to 32, leave it there. It's got a leak. Front tire's leaking, the tube's leaking. Son of a gun. Oh, right there, it's got a leak. I don't know if you can see that. It's leaking right there. So this is why we do these checks, all right? To make sure everything's good to go. You wouldn't want to get stuck with a flat tire because you got a leak. So the air's out of the tire. Try and see if I can break that bead. This is why I hate these kind of tires with tubes in them. Nightmare. trying to break these things out in the field. Okay, now we gotta pull this tire, pull it off the rim so we can get this tube out and see why it's leaking. It's not easy. Hate tubes. Hate tubes. Alright. Now, pull this tube out. Oh, that does not look good. Oh, I think I'm just going to order a new tube. Alright, it's all rusted out. Oh, alright, so this is another issue. I'm going to get a new tube for this. If you didn't have this mark here, then I would say mark it to make sure you get it in the same spot. So you don't have to rebalance the tires. Alright, so we can't get the tire on today. Damn it. I wanted to get that done. So we're going to go ahead and just put the dash back on, or the frame for the dash. Go ahead and put this back in place. Just snug that up. Make sure the side pieces are in place where they belong. Yep, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie some of these wires and stuff that I unzip tied. Make sure that everything turns okay. I don't like how they ran this clutch cable up in here. It's actually hitting the forks pretty badly when I turn here. There's got to be a better way to run that. Alright, we're going to have to get this off. Let's see if we can't rerun that. Let's take the cable off. We're going to take the handle off and see if we can reroute that. Okay. Take the boot off. There we go. That looks better. Now let's see. There we go. No more head. So all I did was they had it routed up through here, which is on the other side of this clamp. I just brought it in through on the other side of that clamp, on the right side, and now it's nice. Now it's nice. So when I turn it, it's not going to jam up against it anymore. Great. Back in. Screw back in. The washer in. Not very small. If you got big fingers like I do, it's not easy. And this is an 8mm underneath here with a T25 up top. We're just gonna snug that. Okay, now we're going to adjust the clutch. Turn it out till we get the gap in here where we want it. Now, the book calls for 1 to 2 millimeters of play. Yeah, it's not a lot, really. I'm going to keep it right there. Once you get it where you want it, lock it in. All right, just to let you know, 1 millimeter equals 1/25 of an inch. All right, we're gonna put the mud guard back in, or at least I think this is the mud guard. Put this back together. Now we're gonna get this on the vehicle. There's only 3 screws, supposed to be 4. And what happened is someone broke off one of the screws inside the fork. I tried to drill it out, but it appears to be hardened steel. So I'm thinking someone broke a drill bit in there, and I can't drill it out. So I'm just gonna have to go with 3 screws to hold this in place. It is what it is. I'll Loctite these screws, make sure they don't come out. All right, that seems to hold pretty good with just the 3 screws in there. I don't think we're gonna have any problems with that 4th one missing or broken off. One last thing that I want to do before I go today is I want to clean up this caliper. I just want to wash it down, get it all good and cleaned up, and get it ready to be installed. It's a little bit like preventative maintenance. I just spray it down with some soapy water. I like to use laundry detergent because I got a ton of it. Brass bristle brush. I just clean it all up, get all that dirt and gunk off the pistons as best as you can. You can take this apart to do the job a little better or easier. I am not going to take this apart. It doesn't look too bad in there, surprisingly. My big concern here is the slides. Make sure they're clean so the pads can move in and out like they're supposed to. If this caliper was really bad, I would actually take it apart. Maybe since it's got a little bit of quite a bit of dirt and grease on there. There you go. A little hand washing. Good. Rinse off those bolts good. And we're done. I'm going to temporarily fix this seat. I say temporarily because I am not changing this vinyl right now. Eventually, I will. By taking this off, I'm going to use Gorilla Tape to temporarily patch that up. And this stuff is super, super sticky and hard to cut. There you go. Gorilla Tape to the rescue. Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm kind of ticked off that I got to get a new tube. I'm actually glad I checked it, though. If I hadn't checked that, man, that would have been sucked somewhere. I'm very happy with all the work today. All the wiring is in place. Everything moves nicely. Nothing is rubbing against each other. And the shield is painted. I got to give it a second coat. All right, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm a little beat. Been working quite a bit in my full-time job. And as you all know, this is not my full-time job. This is just something I do on the side because I enjoy doing the videos. Hey, help me out, subscribe, share the videos, and like them or dislike them. Obviously, there's somebody that dislikes every video I make, so whatever. If you dislike a video, just tell me why. Maybe you can help me improve. You know what I mean? Just keep the comments professional. That's all. Anyway, God bless. Keep the rubber on the road, and I'll see you all whenever I come back with another video. Bye-bye.